With Korea entering the second wave of this corona pandemic, our country here in the Netherlands, we're entering a new normal. My name is John OLSEN, I'm here with my colleague
Almonte Leclerc.
And this is ANO. In Korea we have a second wave going on of this pandemic, and in our country we're heading into a new normal. So how does this new normal is for you?
Well, it all comes about when our Prime Minister, Mr. Rutte, when he said, well people, we are entering a new normal. So it's a new way of life in the Netherlands.
Yes.
So that's very interesting because he's announcing a new way of life for the Netherlands.
Yes.
But if you look around in the world, not all the countries, not all the prime ministers are saying that there is a new normal. So will there be a new normal that is only for the Netherlands? Or will there be a new normal for the world?
Yes. Well, we're talking about a new normal in which people will be fined if they are in a close distance, smaller than 1.5 meters, together close to one another, and this fine can go up to 400 euros. We're entering into a new normal that our children cannot just play together in the streets, because in the past week some children have been fined. Even the father is very angry, he's taking it into court, and we're entering into a new normal in which we have to take mouth caps when we want to enter the public transport. So how normal is this new normal?
Well, you're giving quite some sharp examples of the people who have who got a fine by the police, for example.
Yes.
You're also describing the public transport situation in the Netherlands. But if you take this line further, right? Because the rule is, if you don't do this, then you will get a fine.
Yes.
If you don't keep your distance, you will get a fine. If you don't cover your mouth and your nose, then you will get a fine. But how many fines will it take to create this new normal?
Exactly. So they have interviewed one of these people, and they stated that it is not about fining people, so giving fines away to all the people, but it's about making the people obedient. So they fine the people until the moment that they obey to keep distance from one another.
Yes, that's very, very interesting, John, because you're talking about obedience.
Yes.
When we correct our children one time, and you correct your child twice, the third time you will go and correct your child, will it be effective?
Yes.
Because what we see in children is that they get smarter.
Yes.
What will happen, John?
That's a good question. What will happen? I'm also curious to know from you how you are accepting these measurements that are seeming to become permanent because our minister is busy to make it founded in our law.
Yeah.
And there is already a group of people who are standing up. Last week, on the 5th of May, they were demonstrating, and the police came and they drove them apart.
Yeah.
They seem to me very angry.
Yeah, the people are very upset in the Netherlands. The people are saying, enough, it's enough. We want to continue with our normal life, not the normal life that the minister-president has said.
Yes, but in the same time, what will happen if this measurement becomes funded in our law?
Well, John, if it's funded in our law, if it's well, then of course the police and all the other institutions, they will have to follow the law. But sometimes this can bring more problems in society.
We also had one time the duty of identification with the 911 attacks.
Yeah.
Also that became permanent.
Yeah.
So if this law will be embedded, if this measurement will be embedded in our law, it will become permanent. And for surely we are entering into a new situation which the government wants us to become the new normal.
Well, the thing is that these laws, they are created for people to live by these laws. But we all know that if people really don't like a law, this will bring more conflict. So the situation is, John, that this 1.5 meter distance society, this society where people have to cover their mouth and their nose when they're going to public transport, is this society a society that will be without problems?
Yeah. So, are we acting randomly because of fear, or do we have fear and act randomly?
That's a very good question, because what is the aim of these measures? What is the aim of the people getting fined? You said it, obedience. Are the people in the Netherlands willing to be obedient, to keep 1.5 meter distance, to cover their mouth and their nose for a long period of time, when in other places in the world they maybe be taking other measures that are not these harsh measures as announced in the Netherlands?
Yes. I mentioned already about this demonstration on the 5th of May, which was also our Day of Liberty.
Yeah.
We had a speech of our king on a very quiet Dam Square.
Yeah.
And he stated this. He said, "Let us not make normal what is not normal. Let us honor our democracy and our freedom of our state. And let us defend that with all we have, because only that gives us protection against any randomness and madness." Was a very strong statement he made there. Is there something? Is there a message he tries to sound to the people?
Well, it's indeed a very clear message that he said. The King of the Netherlands said that we have to protect our democracy, because our democracy is the only thing that can protect us.
So we like to know from you, what do you think about this new measurement, 1.5 meter, coming stated, funded into the law? That means we're entering a new normal, that you and I, we need to keep distance 1.5 meter, and if we don't do so, we have a risk to be fined. So I want to know, because there's a small group of people standing up now in this country, but maybe you're sitting there, you have an opinion about this. And we always say your opinion is important, because what makes our society is you and me. So please let us know what you think about this. My name is John Olsen. I'm here with my colleague
Almonte Leclerc, and we want to hear from the expats.